Many Motorways is about many cars driving on many roads going from their many homes to their many jobs to collect their many pins that they can bring back to their many families so that I don't have a mini citywide shutdown and lose the mini amount of sanity I had when I bought this mini game. Up front, I'll tell you that for me, this game is a big old 10 out of good, but what makes the game good and why do I have this many hours on the funny Crossy Road ripoff? Well, I'll tell you, Charles. Either you like this game because you have a fantasy of having sex with the cars, or you like it because of this. Yep. What do you mean this wouldn't make sense in the real world? Most normal people don't play this game for more than a few hours. To truly immerse yourself in many Motorways, you either need to be like me and have an unfathomable amount of autism that makes you want to optimize the hell out of everything, or you need to also be like me and get a weird satisfaction out of watching fancy chutes and ladders while the world burns around you. If your brain doesn't satisfy either of these categories, congrats, you're a functional member of society. If it does, I'm very sorry to hear that, and welcome to many Motorways. On a basic level, you have color-coded homes and destinations. Homes produce cars, and destinations produce pips. Your job is to build the roads that connect your homes to destinations of the same color so that your cars can collect the pips to increase your score. You can't move either building after they pop up, but you can rotate houses at any time. If a destination ever overflows with pips, meaning that your cars will take you too long to get there and back, a timer will pop up. If any of these timers ever run out, it's game over. On a bit more advanced level, you have to worry about traffic congestion and the upgrades the game has to prevent it from occurring. In the top right corner, there's a clock marking each day of the week. You can use it to pause, slow down, or speed up the game to your liking. More importantly though, if you make it through a week, you can choose between two upgrades. These include motorways, roundabouts, traffic lights, road tiles, bridges, and on certain maps, tunnels. Each has their own unique use and comes with some spare road tiles for you to lay down, except for the road tiles upgrade, which obviously only gives you road tiles. I'm not going to go super in depth about what each one does. If you've ever been in a car before, you already know the basics. If I tried to explain the optimal usage of each one, we would be here for hours and require lots of math and Excel sheets that I'm not willing to bring out for this review. In general though, they are well balanced and all have their use cases. There's almost no map where you won't want some combination of all of them. That being said, I am bad at video games and you should not take my word when it comes to balancing issues. On a complicateder level, there are different maps to pick from. Some are easy and make me smile, while others are hard and make me want to commit arson, but rest assured that all of them are funny, especially the ones that make me want to commit arson. The wide variety makes the already strangely engaging gameplay even better through different implementations of obstacles and set house and destination spawn locations. Getting familiar with a map over the course of a few attempts and using that knowledge to beat your previous scores is strangely gratifying and not nearly as difficult or tedious as you would think. On a hyper-realistic theoretical level, each map comes with 4 modes: Classic, Endless, Expert, and Challenge. These modes, especially Challenge, add even more replayability to the game by changing the way you approach each location. Classic is what I've been describing thus far, Endless is exactly what it sounds like, in Expert your road placements are permanent and your upgrade selection is much more limited, and in Challenge mode a set of rules are put in place, some good, some bad, that completely alter the way you play a map. You'd be surprised just how much the simple conditions of there are more trees and you can't destroy them, or homes can now spawn directly adjacent to destinations make you feel like you're playing a whole new level. There are quite a lot of modifiers too. Don't let the title of Challenge scare you away from the mode. Some are hard, sure, but many of them aren't that much worse and it's just aimed to shake things up a bit. My personal favorite is probably Tokyo's Concrete Jungle Challenge due to my brain's weird desire to make everything as compact and space efficient as possible. On a hieroglyphic metaphysical Einsteinian level, each map has some variability to it in the form of what upgrades are offered at the end of the week and the spawn locations of buildings. Thankfully, this isn't that detrimental to newer players as you could still score several thousand points on most maps without even the slightest bit of RNG manipulation. However, if you are a fellow sick bastard who really wants to push this game to its limit and try climbing your way up the leaderboards, you can place roads where you don't want buildings spawning to try and work them into more favorable positions. Additionally, if you're an absolutely unhinged masochist on the verge of an existential collapse, satisfied only by a 5-digit score on every level and the taste of other players' virtual blood, you can find maps online of the exact spawn regions for buildings of each color and plan accordingly. Just know that doing so takes about 10 years off your life. But that's honestly all way too complicated, and not all the reason I originally picked this game up. Sure, I've come to really like these aspects even if I barely understand them, but I didn't pay $10 to do more math after finishing a shitty calculus course in a month. I did it for one word: satisfaction. In stark contrast to the Megamind genius side of the game I've spent the last few minutes talking about, the biggest reason I bought this game is purely baboon-brained. If you somehow haven't noticed, there are tiny cars on the screen driving in various loops to and from their destination. My eyes and brain for some reason or another find this very, very satisfying to observe. Watching individual cars go from place to place, setting up the perfect roundabout, finally getting that motorway that solves all your problems, it's things like these that make the game captivating on a moment-to-moment basis and keep you hooked while you unintentionally improve at managing your city. And all of this is made even better by the warm background ambience created by the gentle music and the noise of your bustling city. It's strangely relaxing. It's a game for people looking to sell their soul and do hours of research to learn in and out, but it's also for those who don't want to put in any outside work and instead just want to hop on for an hour at a time, play through a level listening to the relaxing ambience, watch the cars make pretty loops around the roundabouts, and call it a day. If anything I've said in this video has scared you out of buying it, please do yourself a favor and ignore me. I personally enjoy watching several hour-long videos explaining every minute detail of games I enjoy, but that's obviously not for everyone. I promise that while the game does have a pretty high skill ceiling, it also has a low skill floor, and that just about anybody can pick it up and get something out of it. So, now for the million-dollar question. Should you buy it? Well, Mini Motorways is without exaggeration the best game I've played all year, and that includes Miyazaki's new personal fleshlight simulator. So if I, the biggest From Software fanboy shill, the guy out here still talking about Demon Souls and acting like it's a good game and not a horribly underdeveloped mosh pit of shitty game mechanics, if I have put more time into Mini Motorways than Shadow of the Erdtree despite owning it for less time, then clearly the people over at Dino Polo Club are doing something right. If you like balloons, buy this game. If you like Bad North, buy this game. If you like either Darkest Dungeon, buy this game. If you like Genshin Impact, go fuck yourself. If you like simplistic games, strategy-based games, simulation games, or just a deep game you could dump hours into without ever getting bored, buy this game. If anything you have heard or seen in this video appeals to you, do yourself a favor and buy Mini Motorways. My biggest complaint is that it's in light mode by default, but other than that, it's a masterpiece, and best of all, it's a $10 masterpiece. What else do you need me to say? Does the video even need to continue at this point?